Welcome, incoming freshmen, curious people, high schoolers, my mom, my dad. Not sure if I missed anyone, but welcome. In today's video, we are going to talk about things that I wish I knew before I went to college, / just advice for college freshmen. I graduated college last December 2020. I graduated a semester early, not because I didn't like college, but as you know, the last year and a half, my college experience kind of took a really sharp turn and fell off a cliff, like many others did. From the last 4 years of college, I have gathered a lot of valuable information. I've learned so many lessons regarding classes, academics, social life, student lifestyle. I've learned a lot in my last 4 years, and I feel like it would be a crime for me not to share that to the internet. I realize that move-in day for college students is coming up very quickly, and whether you're actually moving into a dorm, an apartment, or you're commuting, all of this information is going to be super helpful for you entering your first semester in college. Or if you already went to college for a year or two, but you're still nervous about going back because the first year or two of your college career was just taken away from you because of everything going on, and now you're actually entering college with a fresh start. So this video is going to be broken up into 3 different sections: academics, lifestyle, and social life. That way, if you want to skip through the academics because you're like, I don't really care about it, I don't blame you. So first I'm going to talk about academics. Look at and read your syllabus. You're going to get a syllabus for every single one of your classes, guaranteed. If not, I would be really shocked. Your syllabus is going to be very important. Maybe not to you specifically, but to your professor. You might have quizzes the first week of college on your syllabus. It will be questions regarding when are this professor's office hours, or what happens if you're late with an assignment, blah, 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 whatever. Professors throughout the school year will constantly refer back to their syllabus. So make sure you always have that with you in a folder or somewhere on your phone. You have a screenshot of it to refer back to it. If you really want to get some brownie points, write down all of your major assignments in a planner. That way you don't miss a deadline, because a lot of professors don't mention when there's going to be a test coming up. Number 2, you might have heard this before, but do not, if you can control this, take an 8 a.m. class. 9 a.m.s are okay. I will say I liked 9 a.m.s. I know other people didn't. Early classes are okay, but just don't do 8 a.m.s. In high school, I'm sure many of you can relate to this, but you'd wake up at 6 a.m., take a shower, do your hair, do your makeup, put on a cute outfit, eat breakfast, and then you're out by 7 o'clock, starting school at 7:30. When you're in college, you stay up a lot later than you plan to almost every single school night. It's gonna happen. So you're not gonna wanna have to wake up at 6:45, 7 a.m. for your 8 o'clock class. And you're probably gonna fall asleep in your class. You're probably gonna miss your alarm and not even make it to class sometimes. And I'm not saying that to discourage you, because I'm sure a lot of people love early mornings, but if you're not really a morning person, time management. Now, being a procrastinator myself, I feel like this is a really big issue for a lot of college students. Being aware of how they spend their time and procrastinating. What you're gonna wanna do, buy a planner. That's super simple. Planners are literally anywhere, just get one. Write down everything that you need to do for that day, especially if you have an online class or if you have multiple online classes. If you wanna get certain assignments done for that day, write that down in your planner. And so when you finish something or you finish an assignment, you can check it off. It will just help you keep track of what you have left to do in that day, and it will feel like you accomplished something every single time you check that off. Studying. In high school, you could get away without studying maybe at all, or you could get away with studying the night before. No. In college, you're gonna have to study a lot more than you think. And no, you don't always have to get A's or B's in your classes. It's college, so you're gonna make more mistakes than you probably plan on making, and you're not gonna get that A or B every single time. But what really helped me for getting good grades in college was studying. Studying by yourself in your dorm room, studying mostly in the library. Plan study dates with your friends or by yourself in the library. Put some headphones in if you're alone. It's gonna suck because I know you'd rather be doing anything else than studying, but honestly, it's not terrible, especially if you are in a place where other people are studying around you. It's gonna help you focus more. Make studying a habit and a part of your daily routine, because you're just gonna have to, unfortunately. Okay, this is a little bit of a random one, but lo-fi music. There's a couple channels on YouTube, just type in like lo-fi music and it will be this instrumental, calming lo-fi music with this like animating graphic of like a cat walking around on a window and this girl studying. Listen to that while you do your homework, and for some reason, it just makes the aroma and the situation so much more enjoyable and calming. I don't know why, but just trust me, lo-fi music. If you don't work that way and you need pressure to get an assignment done, or you forgot an assignment was due and you have like 2 hours to get it done. That has happened to me a couple times where I'm literally doing an assignment in class because I forgot to do it the night before and I forgot about it. Check your syllabus. So I would literally have to like write it in class. But what I wish I knew, you probably saw this on TikTok, but playing Mario Kart music, it's like this very fast-paced music that makes you want to work fast and get stuff done. It worked for me the couple times that I did it. Mario Kart music really works when you're in a time crunch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Number 5. It's okay to change your major. I know it will probably be a little bit stressful, and obviously if you are dead set on something that you want to do, follow through with it. There will be hard classes, but if it's what you really want to do, follow through with it. But some people, and I wasn't one of these people, but so many of my friends were, they realized in their first or second year of college that that wasn't what they wanted to do, so they changed their major and they still graduated on time. You know, some people change their major 2 to 3 times, 4 times, and they still manage to graduate on time or just maybe a semester late, but it's so much more worth it. You're probably gonna have a little crisis, but it's okay. Number 6, you probably maybe have already gotten emails of professors saying that you need to get this certain textbook, or if you don't get it, you're not gonna be able to do certain assignments and we're gonna have to read, blah, blah, blah. Yes, for certain classes, that is 100% true. You're gonna need the textbook. I've wasted hundreds of dollars on textbooks that I have never touched that were supposedly needed for my classes. So my suggestion and advice is to wait after the first class or 2 before you order the textbook. You will kind of get a feel of the professor whether you're gonna need that textbook or not. That sounds bad, but it's a lot better than having to spend $100 or $200, $300 on a textbook and waste your money if you don't even end up touching it at all. Also, most professors will be really lenient if you don't have your book for the first week, and especially for freshmen, they'll be more lenient. Also, check if your freshman class has a group on Facebook, because I know a lot of colleges do this. Mine was Millersville class of 2021. I went on there a couple of times. I didn't use this, which is why I'm telling you that you should use this. Go on there because a lot of upperclassmen will hop on that group and post that they're selling certain textbooks for freshman classes, and you will get a nice discount. So make sure you check that if you have a Facebook group. I know you don't want to go on Facebook, but it's worth it for getting cheap books. And also go on chegg.com. I found cheaper books on there, and getting the digital files for, oh my gosh, my foot is literally falling asleep. Getting like the digital ebooks on Amazon instead of an actual hard copy can be cheaper, and also getting used books. Email. I never checked my email ever until I went to college. But listen, you're gonna have to check your email. Oh my god, my foot is dying. Ooh, that was a really, hold on, I gotta walk around a little bit. Oh my gosh. I just ran in place to try to get my foot to stop freaking out. Check your email once, if not twice a day. If you're gonna check your email, check it when you first wake up, because a lot of professors communicate with email, as you will quickly notice. Sorry, I'm out of breath. Running in place is not easy. They might cancel class in the beginning of the day, and you won't know that unless you check your email or you have a really nice friend that texts you and lets you know. You probably will get updates about several things, maybe assignments or whatever, from your professor, or you may get emails from your advisor that are urgent or whatever. Just make sure to check your email. 8, I think, number 8, okay, notebooks. If you're someone that likes to use a laptop, I was a mixed person, digital and old school. At least carry one notebook around, because if not, carry a notebook for each of your classes. That's the easiest. I carried a notebook and a folder for every single class, and I labeled them so I wouldn't get it mixed up. But always carry at least one notebook and a pencil or pen with you, because there's gonna be a professor, and this may not happen to you, but there might be a professor at some point that won't allow you to use technology in class at all. Some professors allowed us to even like text in class, as long as we weren't on our phones the whole time, like we could text or whatever. And then there's the complete opposite, where you're not even allowed to use your laptop, or you get yelled at for looking at your phone or whatever. It's basically like high school. In that case, you're gonna need a notebook. On to section number 2, which is lifestyle. Your dorm room. If you're living in a dorm, if you're not, skip over this little section. Make a comforting space. Hang your freaking twinkle lights. I don't care what gender you are, or you might have those like LED light strips in your room. Hang whatever the heck you want in your room, just in your little tiny section. Don't cross over to your roommate section unless they let you. Get a little desk lamp, like a cute little desk lamp from IKEA, because we all know we're really cheap out here, or Amazon. And I'm not saying IKEA is cheap, because it can get expensive, and Amazon can get expensive, but you can also find cheap stuff in both places. If you don't study in the library, you're probably going to be studying in your dorm room or in your friend's dorm room. And in your dorm room, which is where I studied about 85% of my time, you want it to be the coziest it can be. Not to the point that you're gonna fall asleep. I would absolutely love when it was 8 p.m., 9 p.m., and I was on my bed or in my desk, and I only had my twinkle lights on. I didn't have the really glaring fluorescent light or whatever that's in your room. My roommate and I would never turn that on. We'd always like just have our twinkle lights and just calmly study in our little corners of our room. Put up a basic tapestry. As you can see, the one that's behind me right now was the one that I had in my dorm room in college and in my apartment in college for 4 years. Now this is the 5th year that it's alive. Put that up. Put decorations up. Something that will just make your room feel more like you. Yeah? And also put up photos. Basically, make your room look like a friggin' Pinterest college dorm room. I don't care how cheesy it is. I really don't care how Pinteresty it looks and how many people are gonna complain about it or make fun of you for it. Do it. Okay? You're gonna do it, and you're gonna make it look really cute or really cool looking or whatever. Number 10, don't wear your lanyard. Don't do it. I don't know if every college does this, but my college gave us a lanyard with our little photo ID pass that basically was the key to get into everything. So you can have it on your wrist, you can put it in your purse, your backpack, literally whatever. Don't wear it anywhere on your neck. Don't even be those kids that like wear it around like and have it dangling from the back of your neck. That's honestly worse. If you're gonna do that, if you're gonna wear it around your neck, at least put it in the front, okay? But my advice, if you wanna blend in, if you don't wanna be called out for being a freshman, not that most people really don't care, but if you want to blend in, don't wear your lanyard around your neck. I did it and really wish I didn't. Number 11. Do not bring your entire wardrobe when you're packing. Bring seasonal clothing, especially if your college is only a couple hours away from your actual house. Bring clothing that you're gonna need for September, October, November. Maybe some light sweaters, but mostly like t-shirts and pants and whatever. The majority of what you're gonna wear is not gonna be dresses, skirts, nice jeans, nice tops, a whole bunch of jewelry. You're probably gonna look like a freaking hobo when you get to class. Everybody's gonna look like a hobo. Don't worry. It's fine. My advice to you is to just bring comfy clothing. Sweatpants, leggings, long sleeves, t-shirts, hoodies, whatever your school actually allows, because mine really didn't care what you wore as long as you weren't nude. Unless you're going to SCU, which is where my brother went, Southeastern University, and everybody dresses up in heels and dresses. Just dress comfy. Number 13 or 14? Bring headphones/earphones everywhere you go. Even if you don't have wireless earbuds, nobody cares. So don't feel left out. Wear your ones that you got from Walmart for $10, because I did several times. Literally nobody really cares when they're in college, and you're just gonna learn that that's the vibe around there. If you have like a couple classes in a day and you have to walk pretty far, the best thing you can do for yourself is to bring your headphones and plug those babies in and go for your little walk between your classes. Unless you're talking to your friends, bring your headphones and wear them. It is okay to eat by yourself. I know in high school, in middle school, whatever, if you ate by yourself, you were a loner, you weren't cool, you weren't part of any crowd, you were just probably like feeling so out of place. In college, half the people are either eating with their friends, the other half eating alone. I mean, you can eat with friends, but if you don't have anybody else to eat with, don't be afraid to sit in the dining room alone and eat your food. And plug those headphones in, baby. Watch a little Netflix show for like 20 minutes while you eat your lunch, but just don't be afraid to eat alone. Also, I ate alone all the time, probably at least once every single day. I looked forward to the time of me eating by myself, because it was time to just be able to sit in my own presence and just chilling with myself and having a good time eating dining hall food. That's probably not so good for you, but it's okay. The gym. Okay. If your college has a gym, you're not gonna want to use it. I know you're not gonna want to use it. Just go. Make time at least once a week, whether you go to a class. If your gym has like a Zumba class or a cycling class or a yoga class, just make time at least once a week, if not a couple times a week, to go to the gym. This has helped relieve stress from my classes, my social life. Just literally going to the gym and showing up for myself in college made me feel so amazing. Just go to the gym. Like, are you kidding? You get to go to the gym for free? Not free. You're paying for college. But you know what I mean. I've missed out so many times on hanging out with my friends. We'd have a class and I'd go straight to the gym afterwards while they would hang out, eat breakfast or lunch or whatever. And it would suck so much, but at the same time, I knew I needed the time for me to just help with my mental health and go to the gym and be there for myself. It's just a lot better in the long run. You can hang out with your friends later. FOMO, fear of missing out, if you don't know what FOMO means. Some of your friends might join a sorority or a fraternity, or they might just have plans to hang out without you, or your roommates hang out without you, and either you're stuck in your dorm room and you weren't invited, or you kind of booked yourself and spread yourself too thin and at a club meeting or whatever, and people are hanging out without you. Or maybe you get invited to half apps at 11 p.m. on a Tuesday and you make yourself a priority and say no, but end up having FOMO. Because yes, my friend group did that a lot, where they would make plans almost every single week to go to half apps at Applebee's late at night on a school night when I had like a 9 a.m. the next morning, and I sometimes said no, or I didn't feel good, and it sucked seeing all the Snapchats of people that were there. But know that you don't have to be hanging out with your friends all the time that they're hanging out. And I'm not saying say no every single time that your friends want to hang out. Like, just have boundaries and respect for yourself, because I know there were several times that I spread myself too thin, and I wish I would have had the ability to just say no and make plans with my friends, but also make plans for myself. Get involved. Get your feet wet in literally every single thing that you were interested in. You don't have to follow through with it. You can always quit clubs or whatever. You don't really quit, you kind of just stop going to them. But go to the club fair, or if they have like club day or whatever, and there's a whole bunch of like different clubs having their stands trying to get you to join their club, go to that. Sign up for as many clubs as you want to. This is how you're gonna make your friends. Classes, okay, maybe you'll make some friends, but clubs are how you're gonna make your really close friends. Join at least one. It will allow you to fill up your free time that you have. And trust me, freshman year of college, you're gonna have a lot of free time, especially if you don't get a job right away. And some of you will have to work, and that will suck. But still, make time to join a club, even if you only go like once every other week. Okay, last but not least is the section of social life. The section that you're probably most curious about. So the first thing I'm gonna talk about is roommates. That was the most stressful part of moving in, was meeting my roommate that I have never met before. I had one roommate and 2 suite mates, so we shared like a little common area, and then we each had our own bathroom and our own room. One of my suite mates was my best friend from high school. Long story for how that happened. You probably have heard horror stories of people rooming with their friends from high school or whatever and it going horrible, but I was personally fine with being a suite mate with one of my best friends from high school. It didn't really affect us at all, which is great. We were good. I had a really good experience with my roommate and suite mates. They honestly were the best people that I could ask to live with. They were just kind, caring, thoughtful, fun to hang out with. The only thing is, I was involved in a lot. I was involved in a few clubs, band, so that took up a lot of my time. So obviously they would want to get to know each other. They would go out to dinner and like lunch or whatever, or just go do stuff together. There were several times that I felt left out, but I understood because I was the one that made the decision to join all these clubs and stuff. You know, you just can't look at it that way, that you're being left out. It's honestly not the end of the world. Like, you live with them. You're gonna be able to see them and talk to them and get to know them. But you don't have to like your roommates. Sit down with them within the first couple days of you guys knowing each other and set down rules like keeping the common area of your floor clean or keeping the sink clean. Set down a couple rules. That way there's expectations there already. Don't be like a person that like is really strict about doing this and this and this and this and this. Just set basic rules that you know both of you can follow and both of you agree on. Even if you don't like your roommate still, it's okay. You only sleep sleep in the same room as them. You don't have to see them a lot. You don't have to talk to them a lot. It'll suck for a little bit, but for reference, I had a couple friends that did not like their roommate at all, and it would suck, but they would just hang out with their friends from classes or from clubs a lot, and they just wouldn't be in the room a lot, and it sucks, but it's not the end of the world. My husband, who went to a 2-year college, within 2 years had at least 7 or 8 roommates, not because of him, just because of just several different reasons, just people dropping out or whatever the thing was. He had so many roommates, and there were some that he liked and some that he wasn't a huge fan of, and just talking to him, like, I know it sucked for him to have to sleep near someone that they weren't really fond of, but he made it through. He was fine. There are ways to get around it, like if you wanted to study in your room, go to a coffee shop, go to the library, go outside and study. It's gonna suck, but you'll make it through. Next one, sororities/fraternities. So I was never in a sorority, but one of my best friends was, and I just learned a lot about being in sororities and fraternities because of how much I talked to her about it. I don't think people realize what goes into being in a sorority. Sororities take up a lot of time. Sororities also cost a lot of money, and college already costs a lot of money, but being in a sorority, as far as I know, you have to pay a fee to be in it, and it's not super cheap, and you have to pour a lot of your time in your sorority or fraternity. What my friend had to do was they had to like hang out and go on one-on-one dates with every single person in their sorority and like get to know them. So they had to go on like an hour or 2 long dates with everyone. It takes up a lot of your time, and you just have to really be committed if you're going to be in a sorority. You also have to study a lot. I remember when she told me that people had to watch her study. People in the sorority would go to the library, and you would have to go to the library, and they would make sure that you were there studying, which I think is a little interesting, but you know, she loved being a sorority. I'm not trying to downplay sororities or make them seem like they're bad. Same with fraternities, but just know that there are expectations when you join Greek life. Also, people in sorority and fraternities party a lot. You probably already thought that, and you're right, they do. They party probably 3 times, maybe more a week, which to me is insane because I can barely drink like once every other week, but it will just be like 1 or 2 drinks because I'm boring. But yeah, my friend would literally be gone like 3 nights out of the week because she would be at parties. Even parties took up a lot of time because you're not expected to go to a party, especially when you're just joining Greek life. You almost feel like you have to go. I wasn't in Greek life, so obviously this is just coming from somebody else's perspective. Also, there are some sororities that are like the movies. They're very superficial. They only let in people solely based off their looks, which is absolutely garbage and terrible. But there are also good sororities. There are better sororities not based off of looks at all. It's literally just based off of how you act as a person and your grades, which that's how it should be. Last but not least, we're going to talk about what you have all been waiting for. Maybe not. Maybe you haven't been waiting for this, but we're going to talk about parties. This section is only for people above the legal drinking age. Frats and sororities normally have their own Thirsty Thursday party. They normally open it up to public or to other people on Fridays or Saturdays, or Fridays and Saturdays, it depends. And they normally will only open up parties to everyone at like 11 o'clock or midnight, so later in the night. Not that that's super late. There will probably be a party 99% of the time if it's a weekend, unless you're on like winter break or whatever. At least this was for where our parties were. There was like a section of houses, frat houses, and that's where a lot of the parties were. There was multiple happening a night. I've only been to a couple frat parties. I haven't been to a lot, maybe like 8 or 9. So not a lot, but enough. Maybe a little bit more. I don't remember. I don't really keep track. But I don't know if I'm allowed to say this. I don't know if this is legally allowed to be said, but I'm gonna say it anyway. If there's a section where parties normally occur, be really careful because there might be cops roaming around the area. Some will literally just like sit around the area because they know what's going on. Some won't really do anything about it unless the party gets really big or something happens. You're gonna want to drop everything except for your personal belongings and get the heck out. Remember, this is for the people above the age of 21. Just leave the premises. Okay, Always go with a friend. Never go alone, especially if you don't really know anyone there and you're going and somebody that you don't really know super well invited you. Do not go alone. Go with a friend and do not leave their side. You just don't want anything bad to happen. Bad things happen at parties. Hasn't happened at anywhere that I've been to, but I've just heard bad things before, and don't be stupid. Go with a friend. Do not, under any circumstance, wear nice shoes. I don't know what the heck they put in frat basements, or even like bars for that matter, but your shoes will absolutely get ruined. Don't wear white shoes on a sorority, like black. Since I wasn't in a sorority or fraternity and that party life wasn't really my style, because I was always more on like the safer side of things, I would normally just have some friends over at my apartment. This was after freshman year when I got an apartment. I would always just hang out with small groups of friends and just talk and listen to music and play games and whatever. And that for me was just so much more meaningful because it was in a safe space and with your friends. And it was just so much more fun because it was just like a closer knit group of people. And that was more fun for me. But once in a while, it's fun to go out, so. Okay, that's basically all the advice that I have to give right now. I'm sure I have a lot of other lessons that I've learned and experiences to share. If you want me to talk more about my experiences or just more tips about college or even high school or literally whatever, because I have a lot of stories and just a lot more information to share with you and stuff that I could share. I just didn't want this video to be super long because it's already long enough. I hope it was helpful. You're gonna do great on your first day of college, on your first semester of college. I hope that it goes well and some of the best years of your life. Hopefully you learned something from this, or you can take something away from this. Have a good day. Have a good time getting ready for college or high school or just working, whatever you're dealing with right now in life. Okay, I'll talk to you later. Bye!